I've been to see Celtic play away at Livingston 3 times. 3 times, and I'm yet to see Celtic score a goal. Ponderous, ineffective, lethargic. But enough about how I'm feeling today. Celtic were really poor yesterday. The theatre of screams, it really is. I hate the place. I jokingly tweeted that I hope Livingston get relegated. Nothing really against Livingston. I just hope that I don't have to see Celtic playing there in seasons to come, because it just seems like a curse that we can't win at that stadium. I think it's now 5 matches in a row, 2 defeats and 3 draws. I spoke about this on the preview that we did for the game on Saturday, and if ever we needed any clarification that nobody at Celtic cares what I have to say, then we got it yesterday, because I listed 3 things I felt we had to do well in the game, or certainly things we had to avoid doing to try and get a result. Number 1 was throwing aimless balls into the box. It's been a cornerstone of previous matches away to Livingston, and again it was the case yesterday. I think we had 41 crosses in the match, and we obviously didn't score from any of them. So many just balls just put into the box for no reason, meat and drink to the Livy defenders. I spoke about the need to defend set piece as well. Granted, we didn't concede a goal from a set piece. We very nearly did though just before half time. Joe Hart made a great save. And finally I spoke about the letting Livingston out too easily, and you can just see the Livy goal was a perfect example for what we were trying to avoid. I'm not going to single players out for criticism, because there's not really much point in doing that. I do think 3 players played quite well. Joe Hart, probably given pass marks, made a couple of good saves, couldn't do anything about the goal, which was a great finish from Andrew Shinnie. I thought Carter Vickers had another solid game. I really do like the look of him. I think he's got everything in his game. He was probably our best attacking threat as well. That kind of fizzing shot he had late on was probably, maybe other than the Ayeti chance, the closest we went to scoring yesterday. And the final player that I would probably give pass marks to a lesser extent than the first 2 was Tom Rogic. I thought he really got the ball in some good areas. A few brilliant, moments of magic with his feet. He's really playing well at the moment, Rogic. But he just didn't really have players running off him. Players, dying to make those runs in behind. I just felt we were really static. Point was made to me as I was leaving the stadium yesterday, chatting to a couple of older fellas. I don't know if they're fans of the channel, but I didn't get their name anyway, so I can't really give them too much credit. But they were saying, or posing the question of whether you can afford to have 2 luxury players away to Livingston. The players obviously being Rogic and Turnbull. Are those 2 players too similar? Do they try and do the same thing? And can you afford 2 luxury players in what is a game that's really a battle away to Livingston? I think we'd all agree that Turnbull and Rogic can happily play together in the midfield if you're at home to St Mirren, Ross County, Dundee, as we've already seen this season. But when you're going away to Livingston, do you maybe need to put Sorrow and James McCarthy in together? Obviously, if McGregor's there, he'd be an option as well. Should we maybe change the way we play away from home? Obviously, we know that Ange is really, strong with his beliefs, and I don't think Ange will change too much, but I think it is something that's worth mentioning going forward. James McCarthy, again, he was really poor yesterday. I'm not going to single him out for criticism, and I actually think some of the criticism has been a bit over the top with James McCarthy. I still think he will turn out to be a good Celtic player, although I will admit that yesterday was really disappointing from his point of view and the team's point of view. There was also a report in The Athletic today, I'm sure you've probably seen it. It seemed to suggest that James McCarthy had been struggling with the speed and intensity of Ange's training, and also that neither Ange or the scouting team were involved really in his signing. I think this is a wee story that we'll pick up on later in the week, possibly tomorrow when Jackie McNamara is on with us. I think there's lots of interesting wee bits of this story. The very fact that the story has come out that maybe McCarthy isn't doing as well in training. Is there a so-called leak in the camp? Sounding really kind of line of duty type thing there, but it's always concerning when you hear stories coming out from inside the club that there's something going on there. Maybe not everyone is completely happy with what's happening, but the honeymoon period is over for McCarthy. It's over for Ange. It's over for all the new players now. I actually tweeted this pretty much bang on full time from the Tony Macaroni Arena yesterday and got a bit of flack for it. Some people agreeing with me, some people saying or coming to the conclusion that I was basically saying that Ange should be sacked with my tweet. Wasn't saying that at all. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm still fully behind Ange. I still think Ange will turn out to be a great Celtic manager. I just think we're going through quite a tough period for everyone at the club. But the point I made in the tweet is that Ange shouldn't be exempt from criticism. There's a lot of people that absolutely adore Ange, and I'm one of them. But I think as the football manager, when you're taking 9 points from your first possible 18 in the league, losing all 3 away games so far. We've lost 3 games in the league. Last season was a car crash and we only lost 5. That kind of shows where we're at the moment. And I don't think Ange can be exempt from criticism. It's all well and good saying that this is a project and it's going to take time, but the Celtic support have to see evidence that things are improving. Now, I think this team is improving. I think at home, we just look brilliant. Every single game, you're turning up and you're excited. But Celtic can't afford to be a team who only turns up in home matches. If we're going to win trophies and leagues, we have to go to tough grounds like yesterday and get results. And when you look at the away games we've got coming up, we've got Motherwell, we've got Aberdeen, we've got Hibs. These are tough games. And if Ange loses these games, there's going to be real scrutiny, even more so than there is at the moment. Right, let's have a look at the league table then. That's long enough, thanks. We've got 4 more fixtures before the next international break. 3 of them are at Celtic Park. We've got Wraith on Thursday night, Dundee United, which by the way is not going to be an easy game at all. I think they're ahead of us in the league. That's on Sunday. And then I want to say the big one against Bayer Leverkusen. Is it even the big one? Are the league games more important in the next month or so? Then probably definitely the big one after that. Aberdeen away, 2 weeks on Sunday. That is just an absolutely huge match right before the international break. I think certainly the 3 domestic fixtures we've got coming up, we have to win them all to really, get through this tough patch. Great to be back though on away day yesterday. The support showed up. They were in fine voice for most of the match, especially at the start. And let's just hope the Celtic players decide to turn up the next time we play a game away from home in the league. Finally, a very happy birthday. 50 years old today, Henrik Larsson, the king of kings. What's your favourite Henrik Larsson goal? Is there an underrated one that springs out to you? Let me know below and we can take our mind off yesterday's defeat. Remember to subscribe to the channel, everyone. We really appreciate all the support we've been getting lately. It really doesn't go unnoticed. We're back tomorrow with Jackie McNamara. Let's just move forward and let's hope that this Celtic team are going to answer some critics.